When NASCAR legend Kyle Busch suddenly passed away at just 41 years old, fans believed the tragedy itself was the biggest shock. But days later, what investigators and family members reportedly found inside his private estate changed everything. The news hit NASCAR like a thunderstorm in the middle of a clear summer afternoon. One moment, racing fans across America were debating lap times, playoff predictions, and championship odds. And the next, every television screen inside garages, pit stations, and racing bars flashed the same heartbreaking headline: Kyle Busch dead at 41. Silence spread across the NASCAR world. At first, many fans refused to believe it. After all, Kyle Busch had always seemed untouchable, fast, aggressive, fearless. For over 2 decades, he had built a reputation as one of the most dominant and controversial drivers in racing history. Some loved him, some hated him, but nobody ignored him. Known by millions as Rowdy, Kyle Busch was the kind of driver who could turn boos into respect within a single race. He drove with intensity few competitors could match, collecting victories at a pace that stunned even NASCAR veterans. 2 NASCAR Cup Series championships, dozens upon dozens of victories, records shattered, legends challenged, and a career that transformed him into one of the greatest drivers the sport had ever seen. But according to reports circulating that tragic week, everything changed after a sudden medical emergency late one evening. Sources claimed Busch had been privately battling severe health complications for months, something only a small circle allegedly knew about. Rumors spread quickly. Some reports mentioned exhaustion. Others claimed a rapidly worsening illness. None of it had been publicly confirmed. But as helicopters reportedly arrived outside a North Carolina medical center, the NASCAR community held its breath. 4 hours. Fans refreshed social media pages endlessly. Then came the announcement that changed everything. Kyle Busch was gone. And suddenly, NASCAR no longer felt loud. It felt empty. At racetracks across the country, tributes began appearing almost immediately. Fans placed die-cast cars beside fences. Old race tickets, signed hats, photographs, handwritten notes. Outside one speedway entrance, someone reportedly left a simple message written in black marker: "Thank you for never lifting." Even rival drivers struggled to speak publicly. Some interviews ended early because emotions became overwhelming. Former teammates stared silently at the cameras. Crew members wiped tears away inside garages that suddenly felt colder than ever before. One longtime NASCAR reporter described the atmosphere perfectly. It felt like the sport lost part of its heartbeat. Television coverage continued non-stop for days. Classic Kyle Busch moments replayed endlessly. His dramatic victories, his furious confrontations, his unforgettable interviews, his emotional celebrations with family. The world remembered the fearless competitor. But behind the scenes, away from the cameras, something strange was beginning to happen. Because while fans mourned publicly, a growing number of people quietly arrived at Kyle Busch's private estate. Luxury SUVs reportedly entered through security gates late at night. Lawyers appeared without explanation. Private security increased dramatically. Former staff members allegedly signed new confidentiality agreements. And according to online speculation, certain sections of the estate were suddenly sealed off completely. Reporters immediately noticed the unusual activity. Questions began spreading online. Why were legal teams arriving so quickly? Why were longtime employees refusing interviews? And why had security blocked access to an older garage structure located behind the main property? The rumors exploded overnight. Some believed the estate contained unreleased NASCAR memorabilia worth millions. Others claimed Kyle Busch had secretly documented his life for years. Then came the detail that intensified the mystery even further. One former contractor allegedly told media outlets that a hidden underground storage area existed somewhere beneath the property. Nobody knew whether the rumor was true. But suddenly, the story became bigger than tragedy. It became a mystery. 3 days after the funeral arrangements were announced, investigators and family representatives reportedly entered a restricted section of the estate that had remained locked since Kyle's death. What they found inside shocked everyone present. Behind a concealed garage wall sat an untouched collection of racing history. Rare trophies, damaged race helmets, handwritten setup notes from championship seasons, unreleased photographs with NASCAR legends, and near the back of the room, a large black safe, locked, unmarked, untouched. No one publicly explained what was inside, but according to speculation from several insiders, the contents immediately changed the tone of the entire estate investigation. Because whatever investigators discovered inside that safe, it reportedly caused family members to leave the room in tears. And before sunrise the next morning, additional security cameras were installed around the property. But investigators would soon uncover something even more disturbing hidden beneath the estate. Something nobody expected Kyle Busch to leave behind. As the days passed after the death of Kyle Busch, the atmosphere surrounding his estate became even stranger. Outside the massive property gates, reporters stood for hours hoping to catch even the smallest glimpse of movement. Satellite vans lined the roads. Helicopters occasionally circled overhead. Fans gathered nearby holding candles, race flags, and old photographs of the man they had once watched dominate NASCAR tracks with unmatched aggression. But inside the estate, the mood was completely different. Quiet, heavy, almost frozen in time. According to reports and online speculation, family representatives, attorneys, and close associates began cataloging the contents of Kyle Busch's private collections only days after the funeral arrangements were finalized. What they reportedly discovered painted a picture far different from the public image NASCAR fans thought they knew. The world knew Kyle Busch as Rowdy, the fearless villain, the loud competitor who embraced boos from the crowd like fuel for victory. But behind the closed doors of his estate, another version of Kyle Busch reportedly existed. Investigators allegedly began inside a private office hidden behind the west wing of the mansion. The room itself looked untouched. A half-finished cup of coffee still sat near a racing simulator. Stacks of handwritten setup notes covered the desk. Several computer monitors remained frozen on telemetry screens from what appeared to be one of his final practice sessions. And hanging beside the doorway, an old, faded photograph. Kyle as a child, standing beside his brother, Kurt Busch. Two boys smiling beside a tiny go-kart long before fame, pressure, and championships changed everything. The deeper investigators searched, the more emotional the discoveries became. Entire shelves reportedly contained carefully preserved memories from every stage of his career. Race-winning gloves, damaged helmets from violent crashes, handwritten letters from fans, even old newspaper clippings from the years when critics called him too aggressive to ever become a champion. But one room shocked everyone most. A hidden archive room beneath the trophy hall. Dust covered the shelves. Cardboard storage boxes lined the walls. Inside them were hundreds of personal journals, private notebooks, unreleased audio recordings, and according to rumors from individuals close to the investigation, many of those writings revealed emotional struggles Kyle Busch had never shared publicly. One alleged journal entry described the overwhelming pressure of constantly being hated by crowds despite dedicating his entire life to racing. Another reportedly mentioned exhaustion, fear of losing time with family, anxiety about retirement, and a haunting question he allegedly wrote repeatedly: "Who am I without racing?" For fans who only knew the confident superstar seen on television every weekend, the revelations felt almost impossible to believe. Because suddenly, the loudest man in NASCAR no longer looked invincible. He looked human. Meanwhile, the media frenzy exploded online. Social media became flooded with theories. Some fans believed Busch had secretly been planning to step away from NASCAR permanently before his death. Others speculated he had been quietly preparing projects nobody knew existed. Former drivers began speaking emotionally during interviews. Several admitted they regretted unresolved rivalries. One former crew member described Busch as the most misunderstood driver in NASCAR history. And according to insiders, the estate discoveries were only beginning. Late one evening, investigators reportedly unlocked another storage section hidden behind an older garage workspace. Inside sat dozens of hard drives and camera cases. Many were labeled only with race dates. Others had no labels at all. When technicians finally examined the files, they allegedly uncovered hours of private video recordings made by Kyle himself. Not interviews, not documentaries. Personal recordings. Raw. Unfiltered. Emotional. In several clips, Busch reportedly spoke openly about the pressure of carrying the expectations of NASCAR every single week. He talked about fans, his rivals, his family, his fears, and according to rumors surrounding the recordings, some videos appear to have been filmed during periods when he was already struggling with declining health. But one discovery stunned the family most. A partially completed project hidden inside a folder marked simply, "After racing." Nobody publicly revealed exactly what the project contained. But speculation online claimed it involved plans to mentor young drivers and create opportunities for struggling racing families who could not afford entry into the sport. If true, it revealed a side of Kyle Busch the public rarely saw. Not the villain, not the superstar, just a father and racer trying to leave something meaningful behind. Then, the mystery took a darker turn. Because according to reports circulating among NASCAR insiders, several files were suddenly missing. A number of hard drives allegedly appeared damaged. Security footage from certain sections of the estate reportedly could not be recovered. And one longtime associate who had frequently visited the property before Kyle's death refused all interview requests entirely. That silence only intensified the rumors. Fans online began asking terrifying questions. Was something intentionally hidden? Were all the recordings ever meant to be seen? Or had Kyle Busch left behind secrets even his closest family members never fully understood? Then came the moment that changed everything. While reviewing blueprints connected to the estate, investigators allegedly discovered references to an older underground structure beneath the property. At first, many believed it was simply additional storage. But when workers finally located the concealed entrance beneath the garage foundation, everyone reportedly fell silent. Because behind a reinforced steel door, there was one final locked vault. And according to sources close to the investigation, what waited inside would become the most emotional discovery of all. Just when the family believed they had uncovered every secret, they discovered one final locked vault beneath the property. The entrance to the vault reportedly sat hidden beneath the oldest section of Kyle Busch's estate, a place few visitors had ever seen. According to rumors surrounding the investigation, workers first noticed something unusual beneath the garage flooring while reviewing old construction records connected to the property. At first, nobody expected much. Maybe additional storage, old racing equipment, forgotten memorabilia. But when the reinforced steel door slowly opened, the atmosphere inside the estate reportedly changed instantly. Even experienced investigators stood frozen. Because this was not just storage. It was a time capsule. Dust floated silently through the cold underground air. Dim overhead lights revealed shelves lined with carefully organized boxes. Old race banners hung folded against the walls. Stacks of VHS tapes sat beside modern hard drives. Photographs covered entire tables. Thousands of memories, hidden away from the world. And in the center of the room sat a single television monitor connected to a media console labeled with only two handwritten words. For family. According to speculation from sources close to the estate, several family members became emotional before the recording even began. Because suddenly, this no longer felt like an investigation. It felt personal. Deeply personal. As the screen flickered to life, Kyle Busch reportedly appeared seated alone inside what looked like a private workshop. No racing suit. No trophies. No cameras following him. Just Kyle. Quiet, tired, human, and according to those rumored to have seen the footage, his voice sounded very different from the confident competitor NASCAR fans knew for decades. "I spent most of my life driving as fast as possible," he allegedly said softly. "But sometimes, when the noise stops, you realize how much you missed while chasing the next finish line." The room reportedly fell silent. Some family members cried immediately. Others simply stared at the screen, unable to move. Because for the first time, the world's image of Kyle Busch completely disappeared. No Rowdy, no villain, no fearless superstar. Just a man reflecting on his life. The alleged recording continued for nearly an hour. And throughout it, Busch reportedly opened up about subjects he had rarely discussed publicly. The pressure of fame. The emotional exhaustion of always being judged. The loneliness that sometimes came with competition. and the fear that one day racing would end, leaving him unsure who he truly was beyond NASCAR. At one point, according to online speculation, he reportedly spoke directly about family, about missing birthdays, missed vacations, late nights away from home, moments he could never get back. People saw trophies, he allegedly said, but they didn't see the sacrifices behind them. The emotional weight inside the vault reportedly became overwhelming. But then, the recording revealed something nobody expected. Kyle Busch had apparently spent years quietly organizing private charitable projects away from the public eye. Documents discovered inside the vault allegedly detailed plans to financially support struggling young racers whose families could not afford entry into motorsports. Scholarship concepts, equipment donations, mentorship programs, even handwritten notes describing how difficult his own journey had once been. According to speculation, several NASCAR insiders were stunned, because despite his controversial public image, Kyle Busch may have secretly spent years trying to help the next generation succeed. And there was more. Boxes discovered near the back wall reportedly contained deeply personal items preserved carefully over decades. Childhood racing trophies, old letters from fans, handwritten notes from his parents, pictures of family vacations rarely seen publicly, and one small envelope reportedly labeled "Things that mattered most." Inside were photographs, not championship celebrations, not victory lane moments, family pictures, simple memories, quiet moments, real life. The discovery reportedly changed the emotional tone of the entire investigation overnight, because suddenly, fans no longer saw only the aggressive NASCAR legend who terrified competitors every Sunday. They saw the hidden human being underneath it all. And once details of the vault slowly leaked online, the public reaction became enormous. Social media flooded with emotional tributes. Fans shared stories about meeting Kyle Busch over the years. Some admitted they had spent years disliking him as a driver, only to now feel heartbroken after learning who he may have truly been away from cameras. Former rivals delivered emotional interviews. Several NASCAR veterans described him as one of the fiercest competitors the sport would ever see. Others called him misunderstood. At tracks across the country, memorials grew larger every day. Candles, flowers, toy race cars, messages written by children hoping to become drivers someday. And perhaps the most emotional moment came during a tribute lap organized by NASCAR drivers shortly after the revelations surrounding the vault spread publicly. Engines echoed across the speedway one final time. No aggressive passes. No battles for position. Just silence between the roar of machines Kyle Busch had spent his entire life mastering. For many fans, it felt like goodbye. Not just to a driver, but to an era. And in the weeks that followed, the final recordings allegedly left behind by Busch continued changing public perception of him completely. Because the greatest shock was never hidden money. Not secret scandals. Not controversy. It was something far more emotional. The realization that behind one of NASCAR's loudest personalities was a man quietly carrying pressure, regret, love, fear, and dreams nobody fully understood until after he was gone. In the end, the trophies, the fame, and the championships were not what shocked the world most. It was the hidden human side of Kyle Busch, a side nobody truly saw until it was too late.